Hello everybody, welcome back to the Kerbal Space Program video. In today's video we are going to be comparing the two suborbital tourism spacecraft billionaire company things, Epic, Amazing, Virgin Galactic, and Blue Origin. You know how Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos, wait, Jeff who? Who, Jeff? What? You know how they're going to space and stuff, and so I decided, hey, what if I remade both of their craft in KSP, and we put them head to head and kind of compared the two designs and kind of see how they're different. They are very different. So we're going to be starting off today with Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic Spaceship 2 and Eve mothership carrier aircraft, because IRL, that was the first one that launched, you know, to carry the billionaire dude into space. So yeah, we made that one first. So this is, yeah, Virgin Galactic's offering. They are charging, I believe, $250,000 per flight. And I don't think Blue Origin has specifically given a figure as to their number, but we've just taken off the mothership Eve is what they call their thing, is it's going to start its ascent. So the way Virgin Galactic flight profile works, if you don't know, is obviously it's an air launch system. So like the spaceship or the places that the astronauts, that's the whole thing, and then sit is that little space plane which is mounted in between the two, in between the wing and the two fuselages of the carrier aircraft. And then it will detach once they're at sufficient altitude, and then it'll go into a vertical climb, go into space, and then come back down. It has a really cool little gimmick thing where it like flips this thing and does all sorts of things. It has a little feather, whatever it's called, feathering. I don't remember what the term they use is, but point is, so basically, since it is going straight up and straight down, you want to launch like basically directly over the runway, because the space plane will come back down and land like a plane. So, you know, if you're going straight up, you want to be like right over the runway so the thing doesn't have to glide super far. So yeah, we were climbing up, and then we did a 90 or 180 degree turn rather, to line back up at the runway basically, and then we're going to get ready to drop our space plane, getting ready to do that actually very, very soon. You get ready to see the drop, and drop, yay, there it goes, lighting up the engine. And then once the thing is supersonic, as we say about passing 400 meters a second, we are going to start to lift the nose up to the 90 degree vertical position, and we can start our ascent into space. The rocket engine is very, very quiet compared to the jet engines. I do not know why that is the thing in KSP, but I kind of turned the audio up a little bit right here just so you guys can hear the vector engine firing as it pushes our amazing, brave Kerbals into sort of past the Kármán line. That's a whole controversy. I'm sure you guys probably heard about that, because the Virgin Galactic doesn't technically go past the Kármán line and Blue Origin does, so OMG, is it space or not? I don't know, it's high and they float around for a bit, so like, I don't know, sort of space. We do just cross the Kármán line in this thing, which is 70 kilometers, so realistically, this spacecraft travels anywhere between around 80 to 90 kilometers, depending on the flight profile and weights and stuff like that. And ours, we just 72. That's how high we got. But basically, what they do is once they're high enough, is they actually flip it upside down, and then we go ahead and reorient the wing there. Just so the astronauts can get a very epic view of Earth, because they can unstrap and then just kind of float around and look at the thing because we're upside down. Pretty epic. And the real gimmick here thing of this space plane is the fact that it has those tilting wings, which is kind of, it uses a really weird, I hesitate to say entry, right, or re-entry, you know, because that's like, oh, it's hot and it's fast, and this is just kind of like falling, you know what I mean? So yeah, basically the kind of the idea here is that it's not really in glider mode right now. It's in like falling mode. So basically what it does is it's just going to come into like a straight vertical drop here as it comes through the upper atmosphere. And then once it gets low enough, we're going to re-extend those wings like it does in real life, and then we're going to transition to the glider mode. And you see we're using RCS to keep ourselves under control. Kind of pitches up really weirdly when you get into our max Gs, but then it will lower down, and then we'll get ready to transition. At around 10 kilometers, I'm going to unlock the action group, which will extend the things, and then once we just get just around 9-8 kilometers-ish, I'm going to actually start to transition into glider mode. This thing is really back heavy for whatever reason. I don't know why, so you have to be really, really careful when I transition it, because you really have to kind of push the nose super, super aggressively down, or else the thing is going to just flip backwards. So you'll see in a second what I mean. Obviously, we don't flip here, else wouldn't have recorded that, but there it goes. There you go. We can flip it, and now we're in a very steep, 40-degree nose down attitude. Just trying to pick up a little bit of speed before we start our turn back towards the runway. And this thing is very epic at gliding, like super, super epic. So you see we're kind of turning line up with the runway. We're not actually going to be lining up with the runway. We're actually going to be going around, flying past the runway, and then we're going to be turning around again. to line up and land, because this thing is it really likes to glide. And while we are gliding back, I would like to say, if you are enjoying the video, you could consider, hitting the big red button, not the one that blows stuff up, the subscribe one, haha. I know it has been quite a while since my last video. It's been like almost 2 weeks. I took a big old break, I don't know, creative retreat, that's what I like to call it. But I'm back with some really good ideas, so thank you, especially to all the members who stayed around while nothing is basically happening on the channel. Big thanks to all you guys and all the Patreons as well who have stuck around, and thanks to anyone who does decide to become a channel member or a Patreon. But yeah, you guys are the best. But thanks to everyone who subs or joins our Discord or buys our merch or whatever, blah blah blah. We are now extending the landing gear, and now we are coming in, turning our final turn on to final now. And we're going to come in for a landing. This thing can fly really, really slowly, so we're going to actually kind of float over almost half of the runway here. Coming in around 70 meters a second. This thing want to land around like 40 meters a second, so whoa, almost hitting the ground there. We kind of bleed off some speed, and then we will get ready to settle down right at around a little over 40 meters per second. And welcome back. There we go. After a quite long flight, they're gonna have their little front nose gear like skis, what they use on the real thing, which actually helps slow down a lot. And there you go. We have made it back, but that is not it for Virgin Galactic. We have the carrier aircraft. It has to quickly land, and then we will transition over to Jeff. I can give you some statistics there. We flew just over 70 kilometers, I think 72 kilometers over in the altitude. And then the Virgin Galactic spent 3 minutes and 24 seconds of 0G. So that's the amount of, 0G time they got, floaty time, basically. So we'll have to compare that to what we get for Blue Origin. Obviously, this isn't like a real comparison of what they really get, because this is Kerbal Space Program. Everything is at a weird size scale, so. And there you go. I'm going to go ahead and drop the landing gear of the carrier aircraft, and we're launching from the desert because the real launch site for Virgin Galactic is in New Mexico, right? So that's definitely a desert over there. At least I hope. I don't know. I've never been there. I don't know. Maybe they're lying to us and it's actually underwater. Who knows? Conspiracy theories. Am I right? And then Blue Origin also, they launch from West Texas, which is also a desert, so we'll also be in the island, or the desert runway, or we guess the desert launch site for Blue Origin. But anyway, we are turning final now. We have the landing gear deployed, and this thing, because it doesn't have the big weight of the spaceship attached to it, this thing also loves to fly, just like the space plane. So we have to do kind of some weird altitude or speed losing maneuvers. You kind of see me do them really. We kind of pitch up and down and do some really aggressive turns. But anyway, we are coming down here over the runway, sort of over the runway. We're a little bit off to the side. We're just going to go ahead and ignore that right now. I'm totally the best pilot ever. Here we go. Not good. I don't want to hit the ground there because that's not on the runway. And trying to do a little bit of a scoot on over to the runway. And here we go. Alright, we're down. Awesome sauce. So we can go ahead and get the brakes on. We can go ahead and slow down right before the end of the runway. A little bit of a turn there at the end, kind of weird. But that is Virgin Galactic's little flight done. That is definitely the longer, much, much longer than Blue Origin, because they have the whole plane you have to climb, descend, all sorts of stuff. This is just a rocket. So we can get the Jeff rocket fired up. 3, 2, 1. There it goes. Jeff. Who? Wait, what? Which Jeff are we talking about? Anyway, yeah, Jeff. So yeah, Blue Origin, the New Shepard, much simpler design. It's just a rocket that goes straight up, has a capsule and the booster land, which is pretty cool. Quickly want to say that this is not made by me. This craft is made by a very epic person on my Discord, so shout out to you. I've used this New Shepard a few times just because the main reason is the landing legs for the booster they are amazing. So yeah, anyway, we can go ahead and cut our engines, and now we can actually start to enter our 0G portion of the flight. I'll let you know how Jeff's 0G time will stack up to Richard's, right? And once we pass the Kármán line, this goes a little bit higher, just over 80 kilometers in altitude, because the Blue Origin does go a little bit higher. And then we are going to just go ahead and separate the capsule and the booster, and then we can go ahead and get some double cameras up here. So we got the capsule on the left side and then the booster on the right side, and looks like the booster is going to hit its apogee just a little before the capsule. Then it's going to start its descent. So this is a much more straightforward design. There's no space. They're both fully reusable, which is pretty cool, but there's no like plane involved, right, with this one. And obviously they separate the capsule because I'm sure they just didn't want to put people on it and risk You know, a booster landing going awry, a propulsive landing going awry, and having people on their stomach, so that's why they have them separate. But it looks like they both started to re-enter the atmosphere, start re-enter the heating. Or there's a little bit of flames that come on the booster, but it's going to get ready to deploy its air brakes very, very soon, help slow it down a lot, and then it's going to be coming in for a propulsive landing. The capsule will obviously be deploying some good old trusty parachutes for its landing. Here come the air brakes on the booster. And the booster's a little bit lower because it's heavier, goes faster. Capsule's coming down nice and slowly through 5 kilometers, 4 kilometers, 3 kilometers on the booster. It's getting ready to relight its engine. There it goes. And it's going to basically come into a little bit of a hover. The New Shepard has a weird little hover thing right before landing. And here we are. And then landing legs are going to come out any second now. There they go. Landing legs are out. And the booster is coming in for a very epic touchdown. Ooh, 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 ooh. There we go. And the parachute or the drogue chutes are out on the capsule. So booster is down and capsule is popping its mains and is going to come on down for a very epic landing of its own. Gonna be pretty epic. I know, right? The epicness is out of control. Can't handle the epicness. And epic! A little awkward there. These are like Soyuz type propulsive motors there to land. But on screen now is all the members. Thank you for become a member. That list might be a little bit outdated, but sorry if you are a member and I'm not included there. But I will be sure to update it for the next video. Also, is all the Patreons. Thank you for being on Patreon. But that's giving us the today's video. I'd like to thank you for watching this next time. Please order comment to this video. Once again, thank you for watching this next time, and bye!